It's Amy Jo back again today with my day 5 idea. So I mentioned that I thought day 5 was going to be a little bit crafty, and it's turned out to be very crafty. So what I've got already is this cut file from Paige Taylor Evans. She has this 25 days of Christmas cut files, and she emails you a new one every day. And so they've been really fun to see. I haven't used all of them, and I knew I wouldn't use all of them, but it has been a really fun little dose of inspiration just straight to my email address. And so what I did is I cut this one twice, once totally filled in, and it's actually on a very fun Christmassy paper from the Crepe Paper collection from this year, Hey Santa, and then once with all of the little openings. And so I've got backings for all these. You can back these with different colors of paper, and it looks really, really cool. So I've got backings for the tree. And now what I wanted to do is, using the same papers that I cut the backings from, I'm going to cut some stars. And I have this star die cut set. This is from my manual die cutter, my little Cuttlebug. I don't know if I would truly recommend this cutter to anybody, but it's the cutter that I have. So I'm not going to be too harsh on it, because it does cut, and it does cut quite well. It's very small, which was what attracted me to it in the first place, because it doesn't take up that much room on my desk. It's got you kind of have to play around with the sandwich a little bit. So it's got this base plate, and then I've got the B plate and the C plate. So the sandwich that works most often for me for cutting with these thin dies is the ABC. And I have just one B plate that I tend to cut on, so that all of my weird cut things are on the same plate. So what I was wanting to do now is cut some of these little stars, and I just took the smallest stars from this Ellie Studio die set. Sorry, trying to concentrate and talk at the same time. It's not working. And so I just took the smallest ones, and I'm going to cut them out of the same papers that I cut my trees out of. And then I'm planning on layering the stars together on my layout. So I'm just going to start kind of a little pile here. So this is why I wanted to use this die cutter instead of my Silhouette, because this one has like the little stitched edge, which just gives it a little bit of extra dimension. And this one, kind of, they end up popping out a little bit. So they look super cute. And I don't want to do all of these papers, but I wanted to get a few stars from a few different papers so that I could have a bit of a variety handy so that I can layer them. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of, this is just plain acetate paper, or like, sorry, my brain is not working well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my acetate paper to the same size as the actual page protector, because this cut file is quite fragile and I don't want to actually be grabbing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically kind of create just a double layer here, where I put the cut file on the clear layer, and then I put my actual list behind here. So today's is just a list, and so I've got our top 5 favorite movies that we've been watching this year, top 5 favorite albums that we've been listening to this year, and our top 5 cookies that we've been eating this year. And my plan at the top here is to just use these foam puffy stickers. These are from Citrus Twist, and I absolutely love the font. It's so cool. And I'm gonna just write top 5 across the top. One of the great things about these stickers, and this is why I'm not being super careful yet, is that they are adhesive, but they're not like, if you put it down and then pick it up, you're gonna wreck everything. So I tend to kind of get all my letters and my word, and then I adjust from there. Okay, so that's going to be kind of the base. And then this is going to come across here with all the 5s on it. So all the 5s are going to go onto this acetate piece, and then I'm going to put a little tab on the edge. I had it out, but I've lost it already underneath my pile of stuff, so I'll have to maybe grab another one. And then you can lift it up and read the list of the top 5. So I'm excited for how this is going to look. I'm going to start adhering things and putting them all together. So that's what the back will look like. Okay, so I got it, it's a little bit off. It's not quite perfect, and I got a little bit of adhesive in this top corner that I'm gonna have to maybe very carefully use some Goo Gone to take off. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna adhere my 5s, because I want the 5s to all sit on this top layer here, and I have 5 5s, of course, for my top 5s. And I'm not 100% sure yet exactly how to get them all. Oh, that worked a little bit better than I even thought it might. So with this clear one, I just want to make sure that I'm adhering it in a spot where it's not going to show through, because I have the blue tape and I don't want it to show through. And then for this cork one, I should definitely use the red line tape. Okay, now I have all these stars that I die cut, and they all match the trees, and I was thinking I would add some of these as well, but I also want to put stars on the trees. And so I have a bunch of different stars and a bunch of different colors. And I think that I need the medium to small ones. And they're not exactly the same size as what's at the top of these trees, but that's okay. This green is a little bright, but I like the blue. And I've always loved, this one is white with like a gold dot pattern. I've always loved this one. Oh, and actually that one's really pretty with the rest of the, because I've got a little bit of gold peeking through there too. Oh, that's a little bit big for that tree. Oops, need a smaller star. I think maybe this one will fit. Great. Okay, so now for these extra little stars, I think I am going to put a few on just so that I can get a little bit more of the pattern. And my idea with these was to take them and layer them a little bit. And I'm realizing that they kind of all ended up the similar size because my die was all the same size. Okay, so a little bit of a snag, but that's okay. We can figure it out. And now I'm gonna just punch these into my album here. And this one doesn't have any holes yet, so let me just grab my hole puncher. So there we go, and I love that it's across, the trees are across from my tree stories here. All I need left is a little tab for this one. So it doesn't have anything in there, it just has the patterned paper to grab. I'll probably put something on the back here, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And then I have this open spot here. And so this is where I love having some of these extra photos kind of in hand, ready to go. Because I'll just slide that in there and add a little sentiment onto it, and of course I have nothing in mind, which makes it harder. Oh. Oh, this is perfect. So this one just says the beauty of winter, and I'm going to put that down at the bottom here. Just a nice little tiny sentiment to keep it perfect. Looking like part of the album. So there we go. Now for day 6, this is what I have ready. So I've got this picture of Max doing the face of Kevin from Home Alone in his little Kevin robe, and then this cut file, and I'm just going to add my journaling onto the back here. So I'll be back with a video, a separate video. I'm not going to do it all together here, but I'll be back with a video on how you can make a cut file like this for yourself. For now, I'm just going to fill in my journaling, and I will see you next time.